got a lot to talk about today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. To start with, did you know that the Sphinx has a tail? The Sphinx has a tail. Check it out. From Stargate Voyager, I interrupt all of this Khafre Pyramid SARS news to let you know that the Great Sphinx of Giza has a tail. Indeed, it does. Does this add more weight to the idea that the original head of the Sphinx was a lion or something like that? I think that's a very strong possibility. Do Sphinxes normally have tails? Let me know what you think, what your understanding of Sphinx and tails is. Meanwhile, we've got an update from Skywatcher, Jake Barber and his team, who are going to hopefully summon a UFO live on camera before us. He says, everyone, we want to share and update and address some of the questions we've seen online. We believe that Skywatcher has made real progress in understanding the phenomenon. Okay, that sounds encouraging. I like that. While we can't respond to every comment, our top priority is to validate our work and then effectively share and communicate those findings with you. Upcoming releases have been slightly delayed. Of course, right? And we acknowledge that. We're dealing with a highly complicated subject that involves us both trying to simultaneously manage our operations and compose media that accurately communicates our progress. Despite the silence, progress has been tremendous. We are working to improve our systems and processes to communicate more effectively moving forward. We want to share our work with you as much as you want to see it. We also acknowledge the criticism that is inherent with this topic. We don't want to put out work that we are not proud of and that we cannot stand behind. Our entire team has been working around the clock in an effort to make meaningful progress toward our objectives. Here is the final immediate release schedule. The Skywatcher Disclosure Framework white paper will be released next week. Okay, well, I guess we have to look forward to their white paper coming out. Cool. The Skywatcher Part 2 video is complete and will be released the following week, April 7th. Okay, so that's really exciting news. We're going to have a video from Skywatcher. What will it have in it? Are they going to summon a UFO live on camera? I guess we'll find out. Will it be just a blurry shape moving fast in the sky? I mean, there's plenty of videos out there of CE5 sessions showing similar stuff. So I'm hoping it will one-up your usual CE5 video. Although there are some extremely awesome CE5 videos out there. We'd also like to provide some clarity by briefly addressing comments we've seen online. Our commitment is to engage with the phenomenon peacefully and with a spirit of collaboration and discovery. Our focus is on data collection and understanding, nothing more, nothing less. There will be no hostile actions taken toward anything in the sky. Because of course, Jake and some of those other people are coming from a culture within the UFO control group where they do shoot at UFOs. They will lure UFOs in and then shoot at them. And Jake is reassuring us that that's not the case here. Any protective measures you may notice are strictly for safety in the face of unknown or unforeseen circumstances. Our interactions with the phenomenon are governed by a clear ethical framework rooted in peaceful engagement. Our process, we are continuously refining our approach and taking every necessary precaution to ensure the integrity and safety of our work. He goes on, going forward, we are dedicated to empirical evidence, peer review, and transparent reporting. And that's kind of one of the exciting things about Skywatcher is they are taking this very scientific approach to it, trying to make sure all their I's are dotted and their T's are crossed scientifically so that they can get this stuff peer reviewed. We're going to have UFOs, psychically summoned UFOs entering mainstream science. That's That's huge, guys. That's huge. Even if they don't summon a UFO live on camera and climb in it and fly around in it and then let us all fly in it too, we are going to have UFOs likely entering mainstream scientific conversation. And I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, I'll link to this and you can read the rest of their statement on your own, but I thought that was pretty cool. There is another interaction with Skywatcher that I wanted to read to y'all about the Tedesco brothers. Robert W.R. says, this is fine, I suppose, about the update. But here's what I don't understand. The Tedesco brothers are getting footage on camera, radar, and other detection devices. If you're having trouble detecting it, why not just hire them? They have a phenomenally technical RV and are both engineers. To which Jake Barber replied, Tedesco brothers are great. Love those guys, but we are good. We got some broad daylight footage to share. Many classes, including the infamous Tic Tac, several of them, coming out to play. Dropping in from outer space. Fun story. Okay, many classes of UFO seems to be the context. Daylight sightings of UFOs, footage to share, different classes of UFOs. That's pretty cool, guys. That's pretty cool. Big if true. We will see what they are able to share on April 7th, but that's pretty exciting. Speaking of CE5, here's Mike Herrera talking about a CE5 session with no less than Stephen Greer.
We're sitting there, we're seeing orbs, we're seeing, disc-shaped craft appear in and out.
Really?
Gold color.
Wow.
And then I don't know what the hell this was. So I was sitting there, and then, obviously we're way apart from each other.
Yeah.
Something just fucking slaps me on the side on my side very hard. It wasn't an animal. It wasn't any of them, because I'm like observing everything. And they're saying shit's happening behind me. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't see, but then I'm trying to stay over here to see if there's anything coming on over here, and something hit me really hard on the side.
Now that's really interesting. A hard slap like that. That's kind of unusual from my experience anyway. I've been to CE5 sessions where people have been poked and prodded by, NHI, while others were observing, craft or beings. So that's not completely, out of the realm of, my experience, but actually a hard slap like that. That is really intriguing. He says that others were seeing orbs and things behind him. I don't know if those were responsible for the slap or not, but I have shown videos before of orbs interacting with physical objects, sometimes very, very hard, a very hard way, making solid physical impact with stuff. So I guess that is possible. Although, of course, we've also seen there's sometimes biological effects from physical contact with orbs. So I kind of hope that's not what's going on. On the other hand, there are also many tales, or a good number of tales, of people who have been healed by orbs. So maybe it was one of those kind. Maybe you got some healing, Mike. Who knows? Now, we just heard Skywatcher say that they were observing objects coming from outer space, seeming to suggest those are UFOs coming from another planet or somewhere, right? Not from Earth. But there are some people in the alternative history circle that are not buying the idea of space aliens. They're not buying the idea of a UFO cover-up. And the one person that's saying that, yeah, maybe there is something going on, he says they're not coming from space. They're actually coming from here.
No. Yes or no, UFOs have visited Earth and governments are keeping it secret. Professor Flynn, yes or no?
No.
Milo?
No.
God, even I believe this one. Come on, Jimmy?
Probably, but they might not be from elsewhere. They may have been here all along.
Okay, Dan?
I'm on the fence on this one. Sorry.
Wow, I can't believe it. I would put all the money I have in the world. Of course UFOs have landed on the planet and the government are keeping it secret somewhere.
I love it. Piers Morgan is a UFO believer, and he acknowledges there is a UFO cover-up. But people like Flint Dribble and the others are not so sure. Jamie Corsetti's the only one that suggested, hey, yeah, there might actually be a cover-up. And he suggests that they're from here. But of course, the idea of ultra-terrestrials has been around for a long time. And Eric Davis is saying that it goes even beyond that, that the abducting race or races might be ultra-terrestrials, that is, NHI from Earth. Eric Davis says in a quote provided by UAP1, "I don't think they are being taken, abducted by ETs. We don't have proof that they are ETs. We know that whatever it is, it's not human." So yeah, something is abducting people that's not human, but they may not be necessarily extraterrestrial. Now, Eric may just be being very cautious here and saying, yeah, we're not observing any isotopes or whatever from another world, so we can't definitively say they are coming from another world. And I think that may be what he's talking about, but he could also be alluding to the ultra-terrestrial theory, which would be really interesting if the abducting race or races actually were coming from here. Personally, I think there's probably underground bases and sub-oceanic bases. I said that right. That, include beings that are among the abducting race or races. But I do think ultimately they probably come from off-world. But hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Meanwhile, Wixie is sharing another awesome volcano UFO. El Popo in Mexico has had UFOs going in and out of it for as long as humans have lived around it, Wixie says. This is from 2013. I don't know if that noise is actually coming from the UFO or maybe that's just the camera noise. Anyway, check it out, this awesome UFO hovering around the volcano and then seeming to go inside of it. That is just awesome. Great footage. Is that a saucer? What kind of shape is that? I don't know. That's great footage. What in the world are they doing? Are they coming and going from subterranean bases? Are they siphoning off energy from the volcano? Are they studying the minerals? All of the above? None of the above? What do you guys think UFOs are doing? Continuously interacting with volcanoes. But either way, this is a great footage from Mexico in 2013. Thanks, Wixie. Meanwhile, this isn't UFO related exactly, but the same task force that is pursuing UFO declassification is also pursuing the truth on JFK. And now Anna Paulina Luna, head of that task force, is saying that there is a really juicy video exonerating Lee Harvey Oswald that I think MSN or NBC is sitting on.
I would like to actually tell the American people, it was made aware to me this evening that NBC actually has a video that's never been seen before. We're actually going to be sending a letter requesting that from NBC because it allegedly shows Oswald near the vehicle when the assassination took place, which means that he couldn't have been the shooter. So again, we're tracking down all this information, but look, there's even a CIA document that came out that Mr. Morley pointed out that actually said that the CIA never bought the lone gunman theory. And so I think the American people had an inclination as to what we were saying, but we never had the hard evidence until now. And so it's important to note that in a free and fair society, how could you operate or have an agency operating in the shadows? And so kudos to President Trump, also Director Radcliffe and Tulsi Gabbard for pushing for this transparency. It is going to be...
Okay, there you go. Potentially juicy footage that NBC has been sitting on. We don't know for how long, but potentially for a long time. I think the implication is that, yeah, they've been sitting on it for a while, maybe decades, which would be strange, but maybe there was some pressure put on them to do that. Interesting that it still exists, if it does exist. So maybe we'll see that in the days ahead. If so, if Lee Harvey Oswald gets exonerated by this footage because he was supposedly in proximity to JFK's vehicle when the assassination happened from that footage, then that confirms that indeed there was a conspiracy, which will open up some interesting rabbit holes and maybe get us closer to the truth. Meanwhile, Japan had a parliamentary hearing the other day about UFOs, and I really like this because there are some encouraging signs that they are really opening up about UFOs and pursuing their investigation of that. They've also investigated the Nazca mummies. in a way that Europe isn't and that America is starting to. So encouraging stuff. Let's listen to it for just a minute.
So Mr. Asakawa said he had served in the National Security Committee for 2 years. And at the time, Mr. Hamada here was Minister of Defense. And while he was asking questions about UAPs, his party told him not to. But now they are more accepting, and even the General Secretary of our party is here. So he sees some progress.
Oh, that's great. It's still in Europe, it's still not something that the governments there are very open to, I'm afraid, or the press.
Yeah, I've heard Germany especially is pretty bad about that. But I love that fist bump that Chris Mellon gives it. But there you go. Japan is opening up for UFO disclosure. Obviously, the UFO disclosure group in America is gaining steam. We've got our own task force that its life began trying to declassify UFO secrets. We'll see how much progress they make, although there's definitely encouraging signs that we're getting somewhere. I'm thinking things are about to get spicy, but we'll see. We'll see. Big if true, always. But yeah, there you go. Japan opening up to learning the truth about UFOs. Hopefully they'll pave the way for Europe to start opening up too. Meanwhile, check out this really interesting UFO video captured by John Bell of Real Florida UFO. It appears to be flashing, this strobing thing in the sky. What is it doing? It's not flashing like a plane. It's not like a star. He captures genuine UFO sightings, sometimes way up in the sky, sometimes down close to him. So I believe this is probably an anomalous object. What's it doing? Why is it flashing like that? This is very unusual for his channel. He has lots of UFOs that he captures on video. Often, or mostly, they're only visible with infrared. They're invisible to the naked eye. He only has one regular UFO or orb that visits him that's visible with the naked eye. But this one is blinking. So yeah, what's it doing, guys? Why is this one blinking? On IR. Yeah, there's another one. Usually it's multiple objects in the sky at the same time. And that's, a normal one, if that's an anomalous object. Not a blinking one. So yeah, this one seems like it may be trying to get his attention. And if it's revealing itself to John, maybe it's revealing itself to us too. So let me know what you think about this really interesting strobing UFO. Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.